Have you ever benefited from some time just sitting on the couch with Netflix? In today's episode, we're going to talk about how your dog can benefit from some Netflix on the couch as well. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Everything Dogs YouTube channel where we talk about 10-minute training tips every week. And this week we're talking about why your dog might enjoy some Netflix time on the couch. So let me explain how I got this idea and thought. Several weeks ago when I was super sick, ended up in the emergency room, I was coughing, I couldn't breathe, the whole 9 yards. I ended up on the couch with Netflix, right? Didn't really have the brain capacity to answer emails, to call people, to do whatever needed to be done for the business. So, you know, I sort of went through this period of, oh my God, I gotta get out, I gotta see people, I have to clean the house, I have to do the dishes, whatever it was that was on my mind. And then I was just getting sicker and sicker, and I realized, nope, that's not happening. Like, my body needed to rest. I needed to fall asleep in the middle of a show. I needed to drink lots of fluids and just relax on the couch, okay? It took me some time to reconcile that and to understand what I needed at that moment, okay? And the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes our dogs need some downtime, particularly if you have a nervous, anxious, fearful dog. Let me give you another example. Several months ago, my yellow lab Geo came out of his crate in the morning with a profound limp, right? I mean, really obvious limp. And I was mortified, like I had no idea what had happened to him. Took him to the vet, got some medicines on board, and for 2 weeks, I leashed him into the backyard for potty breaks. We didn't let him go up and down the stairs, but there was no hiking, no walking, no nothing, because it was super clear, because I could see his physical ailment, that he needed time to rest. You could almost think of that was his Netflix time on the couch that he needed. Again, I don't know what the limp was from, but it didn't matter. What mattered was his recovery, and he needed to have time, quiet time. It was much harder on me than it was on him, believe me. So what does this have to do with nervous, fearful, anxious dog? Everything. It has everything to do with them. The difference is when you have a nervous, fearful, anxious dog that may or may not be acting aggressive, it's hard for you to see that anxiety. We can all see the physical issue of lameness. We can all see the physical issue of my being sick and go, oh yeah, she needs to just rest on the couch. Oh yeah, that dog just needs to be on a leash in the backyard, like no exercise, no stairs. He needs to, that limp needs to go away. He needs to get better from that. Yet when we have a dog that's suffering from the fearful, shy anxiousness, I would say that, in some ways they sort of have a mental illness. There's varying degrees of anxiety, there's varying degrees of fearfulness, and there's varying degrees of aggression. So if you have a dog that has a generalized anxiety disorder, which is they're anxious about everything, those poor dogs are living in a haunted house 24 hours a day, always wondering when the next thing is going to come out at them. They're worried about sounds, they're worried about sights, they're worried about new places, they're worried about quick movements, they're worried about everything. Those dogs, that's an extreme example to sort of drive home the point that those dogs will probably need medication. But they also need to have some safe, quiet space, which is generally in their own home, where they have adjusted to all the sounds and things that are happening in their home. So that's kind of one extreme example of anxious, fearful dog. And you may have a middle of the road anxious, fearful, or a slightly anxious, fearful dog. And those dogs are all going to have some time with Netflix on the couch, when they can just relax, when they can just say, okay, I'm in my safe space. And the hardest part about that is for us as human beings to recognize what our dogs need from us and to give that to them, even if what we're giving them is peace and quiet in the house, and not taking them out to the parks, not taking them out on big hikes, not taking them downtown. In Keene, we have an ice festival a couple weeks ago. Lots of people, lots of dogs. That is not a time to take a fearful, anxious dog downtown. If you have a dog that's worried about sudden sounds, downtown's probably not where you want to go, where there's fire trucks and ambulances and all sorts of things happening, and cars and horns and all that sort of stuff. That's not where they need to go. So what I want you to take away from this, I would like you to start seeing your dog for who they really are. And if part of that is nervous, fearful, anxiousness, they may be cuddly on the couch, they may be sleeping under the covers with you, they may be lovely in the house, and they turn into something else when you try to take them out, or they get super anxious if you bring people into the house. So try to honor the dog that you have, which may not be 100% the dog that you were hoping for if you have a nervous, anxious dog, but try to give them some downtime and see over a long term, over the course of a month, is their anxiety less? Are they more relaxed in the house? Are they less reactive when you do take them out? Okay, guys, write in the comments. I'd love to know what you're struggling with your dog. Fear, anxiety, aggression, a combination of those things. Let me know what you're struggling with your dog, and give me one thing that you think that you can do different in order to help them. Okay, guys, after you post in the comments, I'll look forward to seeing you next week, and thanks for joining.